Good morning. This is again Coach David Halal. We are continuing with the dating subject. Excuse me. One of the most important thing in any romantic relationship is what they call sexual polarity. Sexual polarity is, to give a firm or an exact, rather, definition, is, how do I explain that? Sexual polarity is the force of attraction between the masculine and the feminine. In order for you to have a strong relationship, romantic relationship, there has to be sexual polarity. There has to be a ravager and a ravagee. There has to be a ravisher and a ravishee. There has to be the feminine and there have to be the masculine. Now, if you ever pay attention to homosexual couples, lesbian, couples, you always see one of them, most of the times, act, if not almost every time, one of them always act more feminine. If they really gonna have a relationship, one of them has to be more feminine and the other has to be more masculine. I don't know if you ever realized that, because I used to ask myself the question, why two people that are homosexuals or lesbian, same sex, how come they have how come one of the women always act manly? I'm like, if you want a man, why don't you just go get a man? And the same thing as two men that has homosexuality relationships. But then I started studying and realized that there is something they call sexual polarity. It's from the plus and the minus side of the spectrum, where the male will be on the positive side of the spectrum, the plus side of the spectrum, and the female on the minus or negative side of the, not the female, but the feminine will be on the negative side of the spectrum. So sexual polarity is the force that attracts between the negative and the positive to put the balance, to establish the yin and the yang. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in order for you to date the right person, you must know, or not in order for you to date the right person, but in order for you to have a successful relationship and successful marriage or successful partnership between two romantic people, one of them has to be the more manly. Now, one thing that's extremely important is that sexual attraction is not only based upon sexual polarity, which is the force of passion. I said that arcs between the masculine and the feminine poles, creating the flow of sexual feeling, but it's also one of them has to have purpose. Not that both of them cannot have purpose. Meaning that usually, and in order for men to have a successful, dating experience or marriage, he needs to have a purpose. And a lot of people out there, a lot of women out there, especially in certain places and in the state where I live, the state, Georgia, the women are busy, making it, and some of the men, a lot of the men, but some of the men are not as busy or are not as purposeful as the women. If you have two people, in a relationship and one is going, has a purpose, it should be the man. Not that the women don't need one, but it should be the man. The man should have the purpose or a purpose. He should be goal-driven, because a man, the masculine side, asks you or ask us to be goal-oriented, to be going for something. And you'll find this is the reason why, a lot of times, especially as men who serve God and Christianity, a lot of time when you start praying and seeking God and you become so focused on your goal, then all of a sudden you see, women or women all over the place, all over the world, it doesn't matter, and in all walks of life will start being attracted to you. And a lot of times, I use, and the people that I know since I was a kid, they always blame the devil. They say, well, it's the devil because the moment you start serving God, then the devil sent women after you. Now, I'm not saying it's not true totally, but the one thing that I realize, the men that are purposeful in life, whether they're playing football or successful entrepreneur or, successful businessmen, successful, athletes and so on and so forth, you'll find they have a lot of feminine or women after them. Why? It's not really because of the money. I know everybody will say, well, it's because of the money. No, it's not because of the money. It's the purpose. Because when a man has a sense of purpose, then he becomes goal-oriented and he's not focused on acting like a female or acting like a feminine. He's acting like a man because he's going after what he wants. Because a man was born to penetrate the world, to penetrate the business world, to penetrate his woman, to penetrate, you understand? To penetrate, the future. Because a man was made to go forward and go get what he wants. So when a man starts chasing women or start chasing a woman, he becomes the feminine. He doesn't become a female, he's still a man, but in the sexual polarity is messed up because the positive and the negative, they're not really attracting each other right now because they both acting the same way. Do you understand what I'm saying? That means if a female became too purposeful, become too goal-oriented, if a female is always in her masculine, because we both have the masculine and the feminine, in us, but if the female start acting too masculine, then the male, her husband or her boyfriend or her date or her lover will start getting turned off. Why? Because the woman become too manly. You see, she might still act like a woman. She might still look very pretty, makeup and all that. But if she start acting like a male, right, then it becomes the sexual polarity is messed up. So in order for you to have as a man, especially us men, if we're gonna have a successful relationship, we need to act like men. What does a man do? A man goes after what he wants. He is not ashamed. He is unapologetic. He doesn't say, I'm sorry for wanting to have sex. He doesn't say, I'm sorry for going after his goals. He doesn't say, I'm sorry. He is unapologetic. He's not sorry for going after what he wants. Because a man was born to go get what he wants. Now, let's go a little bit to the story of Adam. You realize that Adam had before God gave him Eve or brought Eve to him, God gave Adam a purpose. First of all, he gave him territory. He gave him land. That's your secret right there. In order for before you start going and trying to get married, you should have a purpose and you should start establishing your territory. Whether it's by buying lands or, taking care of, buying a house or having a place, you should start having your own place in the world. Not only a house, but your place in the world. You should establish yourself as a man. What is a man? A man is not a person with a penis, but it's a person that goes after what he wants, that has a penis, yes, but that goes after what he wants, after what he desires. Even the Bible says, make God your desire, and make God your delight, and he will give you the desire of your heart. So anytime you have a purpose, then the desire of your heart will come to you. And then at that moment, you need to understand that as a man, what you're gonna do, even though you start dating, even though you are married, even though you have a girlfriend or fiance, for you not to start thinking that now you can act like a female, or feminine, not female as the sex organ, but feminine. You understand? You need to, because of the feminine, the man was made to have purpose. The man was created to go after what he wants, to penetrate, to go, when I said penetrate, not only with his penis, but to go through things and to go through hard time, hardship, to go through, whether to learn in college or to go to get a job, get a business studies on, a business or whatever he's doing, but he needs to go after what he wants. The woman, on the other hand, was born to receive. A woman was born, the feminine side of the spectrum on the sexual polarity was born to receive. To receive love, open up to receive love, open up to receive a child, open up to receive seed to conceive a child, open up to receive the word. So a woman was born to nurture. You see, that's the difference. Now, a lot of people, especially in these last days, because of television and, the TV shows, the movies, we start, thinking that, a man should be ashamed of his sexuality. And religion is doing a good job at it. They tell you, if you're a man, you should not, if you're a man of God, you should not want sex. That's carnal. Well, if I don't want sex, if we don't want sex as men, then the world will end. The world will stop populating. You understand? You should not be going after 10, 20 women, 2, 3 women trying to have sex with them. But you should not be afraid or ashamed of your sexuality. Because as a man, you are, and you were born to mate. You were born to penetrate. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, so I'm going to stop here for the first part on the sexual polarity of the, dating. So make sure you come back and follow. Don't forget to subscribe. This is David Yeshua Halal, the coach, Coach David Yeshua Halal, teaching you from A to Z, fearlessly and passionately pursuing his call and his destiny. Unapologetic, what I'm going for, I'm going to go get it, because I'm never ashamed of getting what I want. And don't forget to subscribe down on the left and like my videos. And if you don't have a YouTube video, make sure you sign in. You sign up in Google or YouTube and subscribe. I'll see you later.